When we make a plan, God laughs. And that is never more true than weeks like this week's astrology, when we have Mercury retrograde and an unpredictable Venus opposite Uranus transit. My name is Comet, and welcome to Just Your Magic Monday, particularly your Magic Monday astrological horoscope for the week of December 18th to December 24th, 2023, where we're discussing, just as we do every single week here in my cosmic corner of the internet with a cosmic beverage in hand, what is ahead for your week ahead, how you will feel the astrological rhythms, themes, and transits threaded within your practical life. Emphasis on the word practical, because this is the week that the sun ingresses into Capricorn, kicking off Capricorn season. And Capricorn within astrology is the sign around ascending to be the best that we possibly can be, pulling from all of our resources, all of our talents in order to build towards our chosen ambition, whatever that may be. And Capricorn tends to be that energy around aligning our gaze towards what it is that we want and moving towards it. But this week, it's important to be set on the vision that you want to move towards, but flexible in the path that you can take in order to get there. That is because, of course, Mercury is retrograde right now, which tends to be a time in which things may not go according to plan. There could be miscommunications and delays and snafus. Adding to that, midweek, we have Venus, the planet of love and money, opposing Uranus, which could throw a wrench in the plans. People around us could be behaving unusually. Unusual events could echo out from our contacts. There could be unexpected expenses, unexpected income. It's always important to move into Uranus weeks staying open, because one thing's for sure, when it comes to Uranus energy, it keeps us on our toes. And as I highlighted, Capricorn energy isn't typically a sign that necessarily thrives on spontaneity and staying open. But this week, Mercury will re-enter Sagittarius, which does help us at least approach the canceled plans, the missed meeting, the technical difficulties, at least through this lens of adventure around, okay, I missed the meeting because I was in traffic. How am I going to pivot and shift gears and find a new adventure, find something else to do within this hour of time? Okay, this technology is not working with me, so I can't do this particular activity. How can I shift gears and focus on something else? It's important to stay light on your feet this week, because things may not unfold as you wanted them to, and as the Capricorn sun may have wanted them to. But I will say, so long as you are staying open, this week can be filled with positivity with Mercury trining Jupiter. It could be filled with light bulb moments with the Mercury cazimi. It could be filled with productivity and efficiency with the sun sextile Saturn. So there is most certainly blessings in store, but it is important to get out of your own way. Get out of how you thought the week was going to unfold and let it unfold as it's meant to. Again, you can scream and cry in your car that you missed the meeting because you were stuck in traffic. You could scream at Photoshop because you can't edit the photos for your job. You can stomp your feet and kick around that your friend canceled the plans. But again, that's just a waste of your time and energy. As frustrating as it may be, it's important this week to just take what comes up and say, okay, if that's how it's going to unfold, how am I going to shift gears? How am I going to stay open, spontaneous, and light on my feet in order to utilize the best usage of my time and energy? Because that's really what the energy of Capricorn comes down to. I know a lot of times when we talk about Capricorn energy, it's like, boss, CEO, gotta get to the top no matter what. But the true essence of Capricorn is this push around really just wanting to do the best and be the best that we possibly can in whichever goal that we have selected for ourselves, which is obviously going to be different for everybody. And a big part of Capricorn is just leveraging all of the resources that we have at our disposal. It's an earth sign, and taking action from what we have in front of us. It's cardinal sign. So it's just important around, hey, I thought my night was going to go like this, but the resources, whether it's time, whether it's this friend not cooperating, whether it's this piece of technology not cooperating, the resources aren't allowing me to go through with that plan. How can I pull in the resources that are here, what is working, in order to make the best usage of my time and energy? That's a huge theme within this week's astrology, and one that we will be talking much more in depth, both thematically as well as day by day. But before we do, let's just address the elephant in the room. which is Haley Comet. Where on earth did you get that beautiful, sparkly, high-quality jewelry? And to that I say I got it from Ana Luisa, who is the sponsor of this week's Magic Monday. And if you watch Magic Monday pretty regularly, you've heard me talk about Ana Luisa before because they are my favorite jewelry brand and my go-to gift for most of the people on my holiday shopping list this year. So I hope none of my friends are watching this because, spoiler alert, I got you Ana Luisa, and here's why. So when you gift somebody the gift of Ana Luisa jewelry, you are giving them something that is beautiful, but high quality, durable, lasting. I'm the sort of girly who lives in my jewelry. I just am. I work out in my jewelry, I sleep in my jewelry, I shower in my jewelry, and the pieces that I've had from Ana Luisa for a while now still have not chipped, tarnished, faded whatsoever. And so when you give someone a piece of Ana Luisa jewelry, not only do they always think of you when they wear it, they will have it for a long time. It'll be as enduring as your connection to them. And there's also all sorts of jewelry on the website that accommodate all sorts of interests and personality types. Of course, me being who it is that I am, I chose for my pieces stars, moons, this little star and a heart. I'm someone who loves to assign meaning to my jewelry, and to me, when I looked at this necklace, it just reminded me of the love that I have for the stars and for astrology. So it felt really special to invest in a piece that reminds me of that every time that I wear it. So for whoever you're shopping for, whether they like silver, they like gold, they like celestial themes, they like more classic timeless pieces, there is all sorts of beautiful jewelry on their website. And listen, if you've been delaying your holiday shopping, no judgment from me, okay, no judgment from me, but all I'm saying is Mercury's retrograde, so you're gonna wanna get a jump on that. And Ana Luisa has fast free shipping to anywhere in the US. They do ship internationally. Make sure to check out the shipping options there. And right now you can jump in on their holiday sale with pieces up to 35% off. But fundamentally, what I love about Ana Luisa is that the prices are super affordable. So it's high quality look without having to pay a ton of money. Like some of the pieces on their website start at $39. And listen, I know we're moving into Capricorn season this week and you're wanting to be practical, you're wanting to be pragmatic, you're wanting to think long term. As I highlighted, the pieces are super high quality. They stand the test of time. That's essential with us entering a Saturn ruled season this week, but also you can really feel good about the pieces that you invest in because they do have a 2-year warranty. So make sure to check out the link within my description as well as within the pinned comment to either buy yourself something special as a congratulations gift for getting through 2023 and its wild astrology, or give the gift of Ana Luisa to your friends and family that are still on your holiday shopping list. And to Ana Luisa, thank you so much for sponsoring Magic Monday and for making this magic possible. And furthermore, just adding a lot of magic and sparkle to my life. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take it to vibe check of the week. So if this is your first time to the Cosmic Corner and your first time getting a weekly horoscope reading from me, hi, welcome to Magic Monday. So the next segment is called Vibe Check of the Week. And within this segment, we essentially demystify the cosmos. So we take all of the transits that we will experience within this week's astrology, from the Mercury Cazimi, Mercury re-entering Sagittarius, Sun sextile Saturn, first quarter moon, and so much more. We take all of those energies and compare it to a real life scenario. So that even if you're unfamiliar, you're like, girly girl, what is a Cazimi? What does it mean that Mercury is going to re-enter Sagittarius? What does that mean for my holiday season? We essentially take that and compare it to, you know, that feeling when this happens, or have you ever had a situation where A, B, or C happened, to help you tune into how this energy may practically surface within your universe. So this week's astrology feels like the following scenario, and feel free to sub in the details that make the most sense for you in your life. So we'll say, for the sake of the vibe check, that you are feeling festive, you're feeling seasonal, you're wanting to do something to get into the wintry December mood. Of course, winter in the northern hemisphere. I know it's a different story down under, but alas, we'll say for the sake of the vibe check, it's winter where you are and you're wanting to do something fun. You feel like you haven't been doing anything, you've just been staying inside all the time, you've been cold, you have not been in the spirit, and so finally you're like, I need to do at least one thing seasonal and fun. So you and your friend Becca are talking, and she mentions to you that there's this new ice skating rink at the local mall, and you guys decide that you guys are going to go ice skating. You find a night that aligns with both your busy schedules. You both decide on Wednesday night, and you are so excited. You put out your outfit. You're going to wear this like cute jumpsuit with leg warmers and matching earmuffs. You are going to look so cute in your skates. You guys decide that you're going to go to dinner at a place that's around there. You're going to get a hot chocolate. You want to listen to the holiday music. You are just so excited for these plans. Structured your hair washing day around this ice skating event. You haven't gone grocery shopping because you know you'll eat out. You have purchased the tickets for you and Becca, and you are just so excited. It's just you, Becca, and the rink. But then on Wednesday, Becca texts you and lets you know that she is not feeling well and she won't be able to ice skate that evening. And because she's going out of town soon, you all are not able to align on another night to go ice skating, and you are so disappointed. You know that it's not Becca's fault that she's not feeling well. You know she didn't concoct a plan to like ruin your week, but you can't help it. You're sad that it's not working out because you were looking forward to it so much, and you see your jumpsuit and your leg warmers and your earmuff that you had all excitedly laid out on your bed, and you just feel crestfallen because again, you've been saving for this. You had your outfit all picked out. You're excited to try this new cafe, and so you're in your feelings about it. Again, it's no one's fault, but you're just sad. You're disappointed. You wanted to wear your cute little outfit. You wanted to go skating. You wanted to drink hot cocoa, and now that just doesn't feel like a possibility. And now you just have this free night with nothing to do. You don't have any food at your house because you thought you were going to eat out, and you just wanted to do something seasonal and fun. So you call the ice skating place to get a refund on your tickets, and they let you know that the tickets that you purchased were non-refundable. They will not be able to give you a refund. And you're like, great, right before the holiday season? Like, are you kidding me? Because sometimes Venus opposite Uranus can indicate unexpected expenses or unusual happenings around money. It could also be positive, unexpected bonuses, things of the nature. But we'll say in the sake of the vibe check, it was the energy around, whoops, didn't read the fine print that these tickets were non-refundable. And so that news, finding out that these tickets are non-refundable, that puts you even deeper to the pity party, just feeling sorry for yourself and sad for yourself. Like, gosh, what a waste of money. What a waste of time. What a waste of energy. This is so annoying. I don't know what to do with myself. And so after you get that energy out of your system, because sometimes you just need like an hour or what have you to feel sorry for yourself, to feel your feelings, and then you let it go, right? And so you have that pity party, and then you start to think pragmatically. Because like I said, we're entering Capricorn season this week, which is all about how can I work with what it is that I have pragmatically in order to achieve the best result. So you break it down. You're like, okay, I have these 2 non-refundable ice skating tickets. I have a free night. I have no food within my house to make dinner with. I have this cute outfit. What can I do with this combination of resources or lack thereof that I have in front of me? How am I going to solve this? How am I going to move forward with my evening now that the pity party is over and I'm done with feeling sorry for myself? So you decide that you are going to see this evening as an adventure. You're like, you know what? I don't need Becca to ice skate. I could ice skate. So you put on that jumpsuit, you grab your leg warmers, you grab your earmuffs, and you go ice skating. And because you have the extra ticket, you hit up some of your other friends, but no one's able to go with you. But when you get there to the ice rink, you're waiting in line behind a mom who looks stressed. She has a bunch of little ones all around, and you tap her shoulder and you're like, hi, did you already buy your tickets? Because I have it extra. And she looks so grateful that she almost is about to cry. And she's like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. I didn't realize that tickets were going to be so much, but the little ones were so excited, and it's hard during the holidays being a parent. I really want to give them the best holiday season possible. And she was just so grateful, and it just makes your heart beam. And adding to that, you just have a wonderful evening ice skating. You get your hot chocolate, you look cute in your outfit. Yes, you're not able to enjoy that experience with your friend, but you have a magical evening regardless. And so why is that scenario symbolic of this week's astrology? So let's break it down. So firstly, the first part of that vibe check where it's like just feeling excited, feeling good vibes, like making the plans around, okay, we're gonna go to this cafe and we're going to get hot chocolate and we got the tickets. Like that's the energy of the Mercury trine Jupiter at the beginning of the week, which should start the week off on this more optimistic, efficient, productive note. And and we're feeling optimistic. We're feeling open to life and what the week could bring. But that kind of wrench in the plans when Becca wakes up and she's not feeling well, that's the energy with Venus opposing Uranus. This can show up in a lot of different shades, many of which that we will talk about. But with Venus opposite Uranus, there just could be unexpected events that occur within the social connections within our life. It can also lead to some unexpected events as it relates to our finances. Hence why in the vibe check, the tickets were non-refundable. And then after that pity party was over, you shifted into this very pragmatic mindset, which is reflected by Mercury sextile Saturn, which is, okay, what is the game plan? Sun entering Capricorn, which is the energy around what are the resources or lack thereof that I have in front of me? What time do I have? What food do I have or not have? What tickets do I have? Like, how am I going to move forward? Very practically. That's that Capricorn energy, pragmatically. How are we moving forward? And then that spontaneous, adventurous energy around being like, well, whatever, I'll just go by myself. And then being able to give that extra ticket to someone who's in line who really needed that ticket that day. That's the energy of Mercury re-entering Sagittarius. So like I said, there is lots of good energy within this week. There can be problem solving. There can be excitement, spontaneity, fun, productivity, efficiency. There's a lot of good within this week's astrology. And that magic occurs when we let go of the vision of how we thought it should go down. When we let go of that vision of ourselves and Becca twirling and holding hands and skating on ice, and allow the unfolding of how the night is progressing, which has its own brand of magic embedded. It may not have been the magic that you were envisioning, but it's magic nonetheless. So we're going to transition into our day-by-day analysis. I want to just quickly invite you into the Cosmic Cafe because I realized I forgot to do it earlier. What's everybody sipping today? Are you getting into the holiday spirit? I personally am. When I told you guys a couple weeks back that I was on my cozy girl vibe, I was not kidding. Today I made a peppermint mocha and it is delightful. It is warming my spirit, but I gotta be honest, I gotta keep it honest, especially with Mercury re-entering Sagittarius this week. This is not the only drink that is here. Truthfully, within my line of vision, we have 3 other beverages that are accessible. I'm not all drinking them now. It's from the past couple days of filming. I'm the sort of person, and let me know if you're like this as well, where if I'm really busy or there's a lot going on, a lot of times it's very much reflective within my space. Like if I'm stressed, if I'm overwhelmed, you'll be able to tell. There will definitely be like a messy, disheveled vibe. And I think even if you didn't know that I'm doing like my 12 Days of Cosmos video, so doing, hour-long horoscopes for each of the signs, which, P.S., make sure to check it out. Even if you didn't know that, you would walk into my office right now and be like, yeah, this girl is a little stressed and overwhelmed because the drinks that are all around me aren't from today. This is from a horoscope video a couple days ago. I want to say Leo. I was drinking this during Leo. This huge cup of tea was during the Cancer forecast because I was talking so much that my throat was starting to hurt. This cup of coffee is like nearly empty, and I want to say this was from Gemini, I believe, or it could have been from Virgo, who knows. And what's so funny is that it's not just drinks. I also have all of these different lipsticks from the various videos that I've been filming. Also, there's a nail polish down here for some reason, a bobby pin down here for some reason. Who knows? I've been having a lot of fun with this series, but I think you would walk into the office and be like, this girl has been filming a lot and a little short on time, especially when you know I'm a Virgo rising. I am so looking forward to having the space and time to deep clean everything, put all of these lip glosses to their respective homes, put these cups away, put all the things away. So just keeping it real with what's happening outside of the frame that you see. And so just a couple of quick notes before we dive in. I want to let you know that all time zones that I refer to are PST. So please adjust to your time zone if you are located elsewhere in the world than the West Coast where I am. There are timestamps below where you can jump to a particular day, jump back to a particular day, and also know that YouTube has an option where you can adjust the playback speed to align my rate of speaking with your rate of processing. So play with that if you want to speed me up, slow me down, whatever you like. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take it into our day-by-day analysis. So on Monday, December 18th, the week starts off on a very optimistic, productive, efficient note. We have Mercury in Capricorn trining Jupiter in Taurus. And even though Mercury is retrograde, this is a very beneficial influence that we have to work with. And listen, I think Mercury retrograde needs a new PR manager, honestly, because it gets such a bad rap. People feel like Mercury retrograde is synonymous with the world ending, and it's not. Obviously, there will be technical difficulties, things not unfolding as you thought that they would be, but it also is such a great opportunity to do anything that starts with the prefix re. Reevaluate, reflect, reassess, relax. It's such a great time to really get perspective because the focus shifts from what is external to what is internal. It shifts from bulldozing into the future to handling loose ends from the past. It shifts from being more active to more passive, which can be very beneficial. And Capricorn has so much more nuance than just business. It's like kind of a pet peeve when we just talk about Capricorn through the lens of business. But I do want to share that if you do happen to be a business owner or you're just thinking about your career overall, with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, this can be a really beneficial time to really contemplate what is working, what is not working, what is it that I really enjoy about what it is that I do and what it is that I contribute, and what is it that I don't enjoy. How can I ensure that I'm building my energy in a logical and pragmatic way towards what it is that I truly want or see a lot of value within? With this energy, it would be a great time to review your business processes, your work tasks, and see where it is that you can streamline or make the most out of your resources in order to get to where it is that you want to go. This would be a great time to reflect back on your essentially expenses from the entire year, your income from the entire year. Again, some of you might be shocked, whether it's a good shocked or a bad shocked with Venus opposite Uranus around, I made that much, where did that go? Or like, dang, when you put it all together, I really thought I made more than that. Like there can be an energy around needing to assess all of the data from the year ahead so that you can build forward more intelligently. Like we've been highlighting, sometimes you have to contract and reflect in order to expand into 2024 and beyond. So it's a great time to really look at your processes, look at your business, what is working, what is not working, what do you enjoy, what do you not enjoy, so that you can use all that data to move forward in a artful way, right? Like Capricorn technically is a sea goat, but I always like to think of Capricorn as a mountain goat because of their tendency to want to ascend to heights, right? And Mercury retrograde is sort of the energy around affixing your gaze to the mountaintop, being like, okay, this is what I want to build, this is what I want to create, this is what I want to put energy towards. And before just bulldozing up to the top, I mean, mountain goats really do be getting to the top in like the craziest ways. But with Mercury retrograde, it's like taking that extra beat at the bottom to be like, what's the best path? Like, why would I go up those scary rocks when there's this like easy path over here? And it takes that beat to contemplate, to reflect what's been working, what's not been working, so that you can move forward more intelligently. Like I said, being set on the vision of what it is that you want to move towards, flexible in the path to get there. And so with Mercury trining Jupiter, a lot of us could be feeling really optimistic moving into this week, which is amazing. I mean, it is an earth sign, so it's a very grounded sort of optimism, but you could definitely feel more communicative. I would definitely say this week with Mercury trine Jupiter on Monday and the Mercury cazimi on Friday, great time to just loop in and kind of just thank your customers, your clients, your regulars, your coworkers, your bosses, whoever you're around, like just thank them. This is such a great time of year just for gratitude. Send a little happy holidays card, even if you don't celebrate any of the holidays occurring right now, just saying thanks for a great 2023. Like there's an energy of communicativeness this week. And with it in earth signs, it can be something that essentially furthers your ambitions, being able to collaborate and work with these sort of individuals. So all I'm saying might be a great week to just essentially thank your customers, your clients, the people that you work with for a great 2023. And with Mercury trine Jupiter, you can be feeling really optimistic with how much you can get done this week, okay? And with Mercury trine Jupiter, honestly, we're really hitting the ground running. We have a lot to do. We're feeling optimistic around getting it done. You might be saying yes to ice skating on this day, and yes to the snowman decorating competition, and yes to all of these things, because with Mercury trine Jupiter, it's like, yeah, I can buy 3 gifts and then get that report done, and then pick up my kids, then go to the snowman decorating competition competition? Obviously I can. Like, you know, I'm not trying to dampen the spirit of your Mercury trine Jupiter, but Mercury is still retrograde. Even though it's being expanded and enhanced by its trine to Jupiter, it is still retrograde. So it may behoove you to be a little light with your scheduling. Again, this was the energy of the vibe check around getting excited, and it's so lovely to have things to look forward to. That's why it can be such a letdown when they don't unfold in the way that you wanted them to. But with Mercury trine Jupiter, it would be a great time to make some plans, reconnect with individuals from the past, like we were talking about last week, which check out last week's Magic Monday to get the tea on that. But like we were talking about last week, Mercury retrograde is a time that we could be more nostalgic from context from the past. So with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, whether it's like people you used to work with, right? Just saying, hey, I'm in town, do you want to grab a coffee? Or even just saying, hey, you popped in my mind, hope you're doing well. With Mercury trine Jupiter, it would be a great time to nourish the communications that you have within your universe, new and old. And you can also just find this productive, efficient energy coming into your workload. And if you have the space, if you have the time, really great time to close out the year in some sort of sense, to really look at your web. My mentor just had me do this during a call on Monday. I honestly, at this point, should call Magic Monday featuring my mentors, because I'm constantly passing along so many things that they teach me. But alas, I don't know where she got this from, but essentially it's an exercise where you take a blank sheet of paper, you put a bubble in the middle, and you put your name. And then you extend all of the webs from you of all of the different things that are on your plate at this moment. Even if there's not a project that you are currently prioritizing, if there's like a desire around, 2024, I need to get back into fashion design, or 2024, this needs to be the year that I get back into writing, whatever it is, also put that on the web. So you're gonna put all of your projects, all of your commitments, all of your responsibilities, and then you're gonna break them down in terms of the time typically invested week to week, as well as the joy factor of how much these different responsibilities or aspects of your life, how much they give you, and the monetary benefit if it is relevant, if it is certain contracts or things of that nature. And even just having it outlined, it can help you make intelligent decisions around where you should structure your time and energy around, hey, this is taking a lot of my time and joy factor is very low. Maybe I need to shift priorities moving into 2024. Or there might be certain things where it's like fashion design is my joy factor. And even if I prioritize 3 hours a week, I could build some significant momentum around this. Let me shift gears accordingly. So sometimes outlining it all can be helpful in how you want to structure your time and energy, because we're entering a Saturn ruled sign this week. And Saturn is about our finite boundaries, our realistic capacity. And when it comes to Capricorn energy, it's not just doing it all, it's doing it very intelligently. It's structuring all of the resources at our disposal, our physical time, our physical energy, our physical resources, in order to get to the top, and our top, the goal that we pick, the mountaintop that we want to ascend to. And sometimes you do need to do less in order to be more. And I feel for some of you, because Jupiter is this energy of freedom, you might do this web exercise and realize that there are certain things that you are bucketing energy towards and your why isn't strong enough. Like when you outline it, whether you see the money that's coming in from it, or the time that's expended there, or the lack of joy factor that it's adding to your life, you might, like when you see it pragmatically in front of you in your web, you start to realize like this isn't serving me, and my why around, well, I feel bad, or I have to, or this is what I've always done, that's not strong enough. And there's other aspects of this web where the joy factor, the monetary benefit, the time invested would be so much more served within these parts. So if you're feeling over capacity, if you feel like your web is extending in too many different directions and there's too much on your plate, it may be worth it to just outline it, just to see if there's anything that you need to release from your schedule in order to create more freedom within your world. Sometimes you have to do less and be more. And with Mercury trine Jupiter, there's really this energy of where can I actually free up my load so that I can get to the top quicker? Because for some of you, you might be trying to get to the top of the mountain with a totally heavy backpack, right? That's slowing you down. And maybe there are certain things that are on your plate that you are feeling a call to release. And Mercury retrograde could be revealing that to you. And it's like taking that moment to go slow and to reflect and to contemplate, hey, this actually isn't serving me. This is a web that's not adding to the big picture of who it is that I am. And so don't feel like you have to make a decision this week because, of course, Mercury is retrograde, but definitely observe what data is coming in this week, particularly with Mercury trining Jupiter. And so Monday really starts our week on a very optimistic, productive note. And the moon aspects mostly support with that. So firstly, I want to say the moon is in Pisces. So with the energy of the moon in Pisces, you can be more sensitive. There will be the moon squaring off with Mars and Sagittarius a little later in the day, which sometimes can lead to you feeling more drained, more exhausted. Sometimes you can feel more frustrated. Sometimes you can feel overwhelmed. But in those moments, slow down one step at a time, right? We don't get at the top of the mountain being scattered, going somewhat this way and somewhat this way. Like when you're observing that you're feeling overwhelmed, call back your energy, focus one thing at a time. It's going to be really important with Mercury retrograde. But outside of that somewhat frustrating square to Mars, the energy mostly on Monday is supportive. We had the night prior, the Pisces moon sextiling Jupiter and sextiling Mercury. So it would be a great week to list out what it is that you want to get done every single day. Again, you may need to be open if there are deviations, but it is helpful to have a plan or a goal or an ambition of sorts of how you want the week to play out. The Pisces moon also trines Venus in Scorpio, so there can be a loveliness that is infused into your Monday, taking time and space to enjoy the beauty around you as you are handling all that is on your plate, pouring into those that you love, pouring yourself a cup of a delicious peppermint mocha, or finding other ways to just infuse your day with a little bit more loveliness, whether that's a craft with your kids, making yourself a nice little holiday beverage, playing some nice music, lighting a candle while you're doing work. And then that energy that I was telling you about the Pisces moon squaring off with Mars and Sagittarius, that happens a little bit before 6 p.m. PST. So that is definitely the time I would strive to have your work done and completed, because you can feel more drained. Again, the energy of Pisces is typically in its own world. It's imaginative, it's dreamy, it's typically not the most productive energy, at least not in the ways that you would want it to be productive. There could be energy where it's like, I need to get these year-end reports done, but for some reason you just create this Pinterest board of how you want your 2024 to go. And again, it's beautiful and you've added songs to it and you are so inspired about the vision you want to create, but that's not exactly what you wanted to do today. Like again, you can't always direct where this visionary Pisces energy goes, but I will say with the square to Mars, you could be feeling a little bit drained at the end of the day, perhaps even more frustrated. Your sensitivity could be making you a little bit frustrated, whether it's frustrated at yourself around, why do I feel things so deeply, or getting an email from someone else and being like, are they mad at me? Kind of sounds like they're mad at me. And to that, you might want to just take a break, take some space. The Pisces moon sextiles Uranus and Taurus that evening, which would be a great opportunity to do something new, do something lovely, escape into the dream that the Pisces moon wants so deeply. And so Tuesday's astrology is sort of like that pity party energy I was telling you about within the vibe check. And it shows up with two different lunar aspects in two different ways. So firstly, the day starts off with the moon and Neptune aligning around 6:09 a.m. PST, and this can reflect dreams being very interesting. You can find your dreams were quite interesting from the night prior, and part of you might be still a little stuck in dreamland, kind of like waking up slowly, tired. If you're not like recovering from the dreams that you're sleeping, you could be lost in your own dreams, lost in your inner world of fantasy. You could be feeling more sensitive. Again, with the Pisces moon square Mars and Sagittarius, something could have hurt your feelings the night prior. And on Tuesday, it's like that energy around like, this is me if you care. Like when you're being mean to me, this is who you're being mean to. Like that's the energy. Sometimes it can make us feel like our defenses are weakened. Like, why is this world so harsh and so cruel? That could be the vibe. So you could just be feeling more sensitive. So if you can help it, it may not be the best morning to be at the super busy mall or to take on the most important task ever, because with Moon and Neptune, you might be physically here, but you're mentally and emotionally elsewhere. This could be leveraged really beautifully via doing a craft with your little ones, via composing a song, via doing a reading. Like this can be a very intuitive energy, whether you're doing readings for someone else or doing them for yourself. It can be easier to tap in, but that's why I typically will recommend not being around lots of crowds because that can be a very overstimulating environment because it's easier to be overwhelmed. And maybe not necessarily from a mental sense, but from like a energetic sense, like taking on everybody else's energy, like just trying to shop at the mall, but you're distracted because the person in front of you seems really mad and you need help and you want to ask the shop person, but you can tell energetically that they're really stressed and sad. And so you don't want to have to bug them. It just can be a lot to be tapped into a lot of different people's energy. It can be overwhelming. It can be overstimulating, which is why it can be such an aha moment to realize that you are a highly sensitive person. Again, this is a lunar aspect, but if you are somebody who is highly sensitive, like that moment that you figure out you're highly sensitive, it's such like it's such a light bulb moment, because I just feel like I went so many years of my life like not understanding why I was so overwhelmed all of the time and so overstimulated all of the time. I was like, I'm not built for this world. Why can I not do simple things without feeling so overwhelmed? And it's interesting to know that now and have dove into it more so now and to review past experiences through that lens. And it's like, oh, I'm not broken. I'm just really sensitive. All I'm saying is that with Moon Neptune, we can be feeling extra sensitive. And so then on Tuesday, we also have the first quarter moon. So let me know how the Sagittarius new moon was for you, how you worked with it, if you did a ceremony or a ritual or anything of that nature. Let me know how that went for you. So with the first quarter moon in Pisces, it's sort of like a check-in point from that Sagittarius new moon. And to be quite honest with you, the entire week is sort of giving check-in point sort of energy, because we have the first quarter moon check-in point from last week's Sagittarius new moon, check-in point to next week's Cancer full moon. And then we also have the Mercury cazimi, which is a check-in point for the ongoing Mercury retrograde story. So again, just being open to what's coming out, what it is that you are feeling. And so again, with this lunar phase, sometimes things can feel quite stressful. This is called the crisis of action phase. And remember, the moon is still separating from Neptune. So it could be energy around, okay, crisis of action, I have to take action. How am I meant to take action? This is me. If you care, like I need to be taking action. There could be an energy around feeling that you are ill-equipped or not strong enough or too sensitive to handle all that is on your plate right now. And I want to let you know you are so much stronger than you think. Like I feel like with the Pisces energy, I actually have an abandoned cup of tea to illustrate this point, but I feel like with the Pisces energy, because again, the moon's in Pisces, there's these two fish swimming in opposite directions. And this represents a battle that is within every Pisces placement, as well as all of us when we are navigating a Pisces moon. And the battle on Tuesday could be this battle between one part of you that's like, I am God, I am untouchable, then one part of you that's like, I am the worst person ever. Like there could be an energy of Pisces energy around oscillating between extremes. And again, the truth is somewhere in the middle, and it's important not to buy too much into I am a god, I am untouchable, nothing can stop me, nor buy into I am worthless, I am a piece of crap, I'm too sensitive to survive. Again, there could be those two fish battling for direction. And then yeah, you're gonna want to avoid a god complex with the first quarter moon. But I think with the first quarter moon, there could be an energy of overwhelm. There's a lot on your plate. Your emotions could be overwhelming. There could be certain reflections from the Sagittarius new moon around, that's the direction that I want to move in. How am I going to get there? You could feel overwhelmed around, I want to feel free, but there's so much on my plate currently. Like this could be the energy around at work just needing to cry in the stall for a second because you just feel so overwhelmed and you're not sure if you can do it. And again, the moon's in Pisces. So allow yourself that space to be like, I'm worthless, I can't do this, but know that it's temporary. Like that is not the truth. Like you can have your pity party, you can cry in the stall if you need to. You could swim down, right? But remember to swim back up, right? Remember to swim towards the light. We're wrapping up Sagittarius season after all. And since it's a crisis moon phase, sometimes we could feel stressed or busy or a lot to do. Maybe you kind of like dilly-dallied it in the morning with the moon aligning with Neptune. And then when the first quarter moon kicked in, you're like, oh my gosh, I have a lot to do. I have a lot to handle. You've got this. Remember to breathe. We don't want to skip steps. Remember that Mercury's retrograde. But luckily then the Pisces sextiles Pluto, which is that energy around maybe you cried in the stall, but you wiped your tears and you kept going. And that's what matters, is that you keep going, you keep showing up, you don't let that fish swimming down, those voices telling you that you're worthless and that you shouldn't even try any longer, you don't let it win. Again, you could temporarily indulge that fish swimming down. Listen, nobody can throw a pity party like a Pisces placement can, okay? And sometimes you just gotta let yourself have the pity party and then emerge from the pity party is sort of the energy. And then the moon will be void from 1:03 p.m. until 2:47 p.m. So when the moon is void, important tasks we must avoid retrograde. And with the moon in Pisces, you can be feeling more tired. You can be feeling more dreamy. Again, this can be a very inspired day, but again, with the Pisces moon, you could just feel torn in different directions around, I want to do this and I also want to do this. Like, it could be challenging to be multi-passionate, to be like, I'm just one human being, yet I contain all of these nuances and all of these interests and all of these passions. And Haley Comet, I did my web yesterday and there was like 26 things on there. It could be a lot to hold so much nuance to who it is that you are. Trust that the path will be made clear, right? It's Mercury retrograde, so it's about reflecting what's important to me, what is it that I want to build. Don't feel like you have to launch everything and do everything right now, but there feels to be something on your heart and on your mind where you could feel like you have to on Tuesday. And then the moon enters Aries at 2:47 p.m. So the vibe shifts to a lot more forward and direct. And then the Aries moon squares off with Mercury in Capricorn. So this is a different sort of pity party. And I would actually love to know below, when you're frustrated and annoyed, I would love to know what your pity party is. So the first pity party was like, you know, tears in the office bathroom, right? Just feeling overwhelmed and just like crying, or within the vibe check, like crying because you were just so excited about these plans and they didn't work out, so you just cry. The energy of the Aries moon squaring Mercury in Capricorn is like, logically, I know I can't be mad. Like, realistically, Becca did not get sick on purpose, but I'm mad anyway with the Aries moon energy, like just needing that reaction and then getting over it. So let me know if your pity party is like kind of the stomping your feet, slamming doors, huffing and puffing, temper tantrum energy of the Aries moon squaring Mercury in Capricorn, or like kind of the weepy Pisces moon aligning with Neptune and squaring Sagittarius sun. I'm actually very curious. But that's only one manifestation of the Aries moon square Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn is trying to be grounded and pragmatic around, okay, Becca didn't mean to get sick, but the Aries moon is still having its feelings about it, still feeling mad. And that's a good thing about Aries moon, is sometimes you just need to allow yourself to feel that emotion before you can let it go entirely, right? And they might have a reaction, they might huff and puff and stomp their feet, but then it's out of their system and they won't bring it up again, right? And so with the Aries moon square Mercury in Capricorn, there could be this battle around, this is how I feel, but it doesn't make sense to feel this way, but alas, it's still how I feel, but it doesn't make sense to feel this way. There could just be a battle between the two. Words could come off a little harsh. You could be in a fighting mood of some sort. And again, the chance for miscommunication can be high. That's a given with Mercury retrograde, so just important to be direct. And again, the likelihood for miscommunication can be high with this influence, so leverage the Aries moon ability to be direct and really find ways to let it go, whether it's a workout, whether it's just having your little pity party, letting it go, having like an angry poetry sesh, and then letting it go. You just got to feel your feelings and then let it go. So on Wednesday, December 20th, is when Venus opposes Uranus. It happens very late after 11 p.m. PST. So for a lot of you, this could happen early on Thursday. And as I highlighted, Venus is the planet of love. And with the opposition to Uranus, you could have plans with a partner around, we're going to go ice skating. It's going to be so cute. We're going to hold hands. And those don't go according to plan. The ice rink is already fully booked, or your partner got a project at work and doesn't have time, or something could occur that disrupts those initial plans. Or your partner could just be behaving a little weird, a little unpredictable. Sometimes Uranus energy can make us crave more space from our partner. And again, just honoring that you both are individual, sovereign beings. Venus and Scorpio may feel this distance or this space and want to like cling or like pull in harder, right? But it's really important on Wednesday to just allow your partner the space and the grace to do their own thing, and allow yourself the space and the grace to do your own thing as well. Do not perceive if someone kind of pulls back energy. Don't see that as a bad thing. Don't take that as your invitation to go in deeper. Just allow them to do their thing, right? Not in a disrespectful way or anything, but if they need a night with their friends or something of nature, allow some space. Allegedly, it makes the heart grow fonder or something. Also with Venus, Venus has to do with beauty. So some of you could be craving disrupting your look, trying something new. Venus is also money. So there could be something unexpected that comes up around finances. So definitely an important week. Look at your bank statements. I said that with Mercury in Capricorn, trining Jupiter and Taurus. Whether you're reviewing the entire year expenses and income, or even just checking the transactions to make sure you're the one who's actually been spending all of this money. It is so violating when someone else is using your card to purchase things. Has that ever happened to you? And don't you like low-key judge them for what it is that they use your card to buy? Like this happened to me last year and they bought the weirdest things. They spent like $800 at Foot Locker. They spent a bunch of money at Build-A-Bear. I'm like, what? Like at least take my identity to do something cool, to buy some electronics or something. You're buying Build-A-Bears? You're buying Build-A-Bears on my dime. I don't have any beef with Build-A-Bear, but it was just really random. But anyways, I hope that doesn't happen to you all, but always just important to be on it in terms of reviewing what is going in and out of your accounts. There also could just be something that you intend to buy and it actually ends up to be more expensive than you thought it was going to be. But also, I don't mean to cast Uranus in a negative light. It could also be that item is actually cheaper than you thought that it would be. Your bonus is actually more than you thought that it would be. You find $40 in a purse. There could be unexpected events that come up around finances on Wednesday. Now, with the energy of Uranus, like I said, there can be canceled plans. And with Mercury retrograde, you just gotta be open. It's like, gosh, it would have been so good if I could have skated with Becca in my cute outfit, but that's just not how the cookie crumbled. And sometimes we just have to be like, that's just not how the cookie crumbled. We have to release that dream. That was part of the first quarter moon in Pisces. We have to let go of that vision of how we want it to go and just allow how it is unfolding currently. And you know, it's frustrating when things don't go according to plan, right? And you could have your feelings about it. Like maybe in the vibe check, you're feeling this energy around no one wants to hang out with me. Like Becca always does this. She always changes plans last minute. Like I'm such a loser that I don't have any time to do anything besides work and my responsibilities. And I just want to have one night. And that's sort of reflected with Moon Chiron, where it really doesn't have that much to do with you. It's always important to remember to not take it personally. Like it really does not have that much to do with you. Like again, when you are centered within your space, you can make it about you around, well, Becca like clearly didn't want to hang out with me. She left me holding the bag on these ice skating tickets. This always happens to me. People always take advantage of me. People don't like spending time with me. You can assign and go down this rabbit hole of all of the reasons of what her behavior meant. But at the end of the day, she might have just been looking out for you. She's like, girly girl, I don't want to get you sick. Like I am not feeling well. You do not want this stomach bug. Like trust me, girl. But again, with Moon Chiron, we're feeling our feelings about it a little bit. And that can happen when plans change, right? When someone cancels on us, when someone flakes. Like this energy with Moon on Chiron and Venus opposite Uranus reminds me of the time that I was stood up. I don't know if you guys have ever been stood up before. It was so humiliating. And what was even more embarrassing was just how excited I was for this. It was a concert, for this concert. Like that moment in the vibe check when you think of the self that you were that morning when you were setting out the bodysuit and the leg warmers and the earmuffs and you didn't know how the night would unfold and that the night that you thought it was going to be just simply wasn't in the cards. And part of you misses who it was that you were before you knew that that's not where the night was going to go. And you feel silly for being so excited about it, right? Like that's absolutely the energy that I was in. And I get it. We all flake sometimes. We all have stuff that comes up. We all have to cancel plans. But this situation was pretty frustrating because of the following reasons. So firstly, I was not in my city. Okay. So not in San Diego, not in my stomping grounds. Secondly, the concert was in not the greatest neighborhood. And because he had a work thing right before, we had to meet there, which I was a little uneasy about because it was nighttime. I had to park really far. It didn't feel like a great situation to put myself in alone, and he had the tickets. But the part that frustrated me the most about the situation is that he did not tell me that he was not going to go until 15 minutes after the time that we were meant to meet up. So it was cold. I was waiting outside in not a great part of town, waiting on this individual. He has tickets, so I can't go inside. And finally, he's like, I'm not going to go. I hope you have a good night. Emails me the tickets, like PayPals me money to buy drinks, and is like, have fun. And I just felt so dumb for being so excited. And again, I felt my feelings like in the vibe check. I had my little pity party. I literally went into the venue and I was crying, just openly crying, writing poetry. in my notes app. That's when you know you're down bad, is when you're writing poetry within your notes app. Okay, if you've been there, you'll feel me on that. Okay, I was in my feels about this situation. And then I had to be pragmatic. I'm like, well, I'm here. I might as well go to this concert. And I call my friend who lived near-ish this area. She actually had to drive like an hour and a half, but I called her bawling, telling her the situation. She actually really likes the artist, and she's such a real one, Scorpio woman. I swear, Scorpio women are always so there for me. I adore you all so much, but she's like a ride or die. Like right when she got the call, she was like, say no more, I'll be there. Drove an hour and a half, and we had a great time at the concert. So anyways, I'm not saying everybody's gonna get stood up or plans are going to change this week, but all I'm saying, see where it is that you could take these lemons and make them lemonade, right? I was sobbing, crying in this lobby, writing bad poetry in my notes app, just like feeling my feels about the situation. I could have just gotten in my car and gone home, but I took in the situation very pragmatically. I'm like, okay, I'm in a different city. I have these concert tickets. I'm at this concert of an artist who I really like. I do have a friend who lives somewhat near who, God bless her heart, who dropped all of her plans to be there with me. Like, you gotta make the best of situations. And honestly, when I look back, I do remember crying in the lobby, writing notes app poetry, because who could forget that? That memory is unfortunately burned into my brain. But I mostly remember dancing with my friend, and that's what I mostly tune into. So all I'm saying, if there is something that does not go according to plan, see how it is that you can make the most of it. On Thursday, the 21st, Mercury in Capricorn sextile Saturn in Pisces is kind of that energy that I was telling you about, around taking in the situation and viewing things logically and pragmatically. Again, sometimes you need to feel your feelings, have your instinctual reactions, write some poetry in your notes app, huff and puff, however it is that you process, okay? You gotta feel your feels before you like dive around, okay, logically, pragmatically, how am I going to move forward? I made this mistake at work, how am I going to move forward? Someone took my card and spent a bunch of money at Build-A-Bear, how am I going to move forward? Like with this energy, it's all about problem solving and taking in things very pragmatically. And if there is something that you've been like moving through, sometimes it helps to view it logically. Sometimes that can happen via conversations with one-on-ones, writing things within a journal to have that objective view on the situation, maybe have new dynamics that you haven't yet conceptualized. And if there's something that you've been moving through, this would be a great opportunity to think about how you can solve the situation very logically and pragmatically would be the ask with this. And knowing that sometimes advice is straightforward, right? Sometimes it's not necessarily what you would want to hear. Sometimes when you write out what has upset you and break it down and process it piece by piece, you start to get comfy with uncomfortable truths, right? Or if you tell your situation to a friend, sometimes they're like, yeah, from my vantage point, it seems like this is how you should move forward. This is a very logical, practical energy around how to move forward. It's not always the most like touchy-feely, comforting energy, but it's just like, okay, logically, it didn't work out. I felt my feelings. How am I going to move forward is the energy. And with Mercury sextile Saturn, again, Mercury retrograde, great time, edit, refine existing work projects, reassess the projects from the past year, what's working, what's not working. And again, it's taking that objective look, like getting out of your emotions every so often. Again, feel your emotions, okay? This is coming from someone who's deeply emotional, but sometimes you have to get out of the emotional types that you have with all of those things that are on your plate, all of those webs, right? To contemplate from a big picture, rationally, this is taking a lot of my energy and adding not enough joy. Like logically, it doesn't make sense to be prioritizing this aspect of my life so deeply when other aspects of my life, other components of my web are deprived. And so there can be an energy to step outside of your situation with that. Editing Haley here. I apologize for the brief interruption and for popping on when I just woke up, but I wanted to expand on Mercury sextile Saturn because there's so much about it that gives me this energy of tough love. Like when we think of Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, it's really this cosmic invitation to review the facts and the figures of the matter, to pragmatically assess the data or what has transpired to guide the decisions that you take forward. And it's so important, whatever it is that you are working on or working through, you could feel your feelings, you can have your emotions about it, but it comes to a point in time when you have to be able to step out of emotion and really review logically and pragmatically the data that has come through. And it might not be exactly what it is that you want to see, what it is that you want to hear, what would, comfort your emotions, but just knowing with a sextile to Saturn, it is helping you progress forward. And even when we consider that Saturn's in Pisces, Pisces being a very compassionate sign, and Saturn being a planet that's very rooted within reality, sometimes the most compassionate thing of all to do is to be honest with others, with ourselves. Because even when I think of that experience that I had shared with you around getting stood up at that concert, there was part of me that was tempted to deceive myself, to keep myself suspended in lies around, oh, I'm sure, this excuse is legitimate. I'm sure he cares about me, or what have you. But the reason I was so dramatic, which I'm sure my reenactment, it was pretty extreme, but the reason I was having that reaction is because I knew logically, pragmatically that I could not move forward within this connection. Like, we'd been dating for about 5 or 6 months at this point, and we lived in different cities, so it was very rare that we would be able to meet up, and it was saddening to me because I was so looking forward to it, and I had made it such a priority, and his behavior had signaled to me that I simply wasn't a priority in the way that I had prioritized him. And there was part of me that wanted to comfort myself around, no, I'm sure it was just something that came up. I'm sure it's legitimate. I'm sure you guys can still move forward. But I had to just be honest with myself. I love myself enough to be honest around, this person is not prioritizing you. And if you value consistency, and this person cannot even be consistent within the first 6 months of courting you, that's not going to help you move forward. Because again, I could have just kept turning my wheels within this connection. Like, the next day he was trying to make more plans with me, waste more of my time, whatever. And there was part of me that was tempted, like the emotions of the matter, my heart of the matter. I really liked this person, but I had to be honest. I had to review the facts around what had transpired, what was said, what was not done, how he was not able to show up for me. And I had to make decisions from that pragmatic mind state. Like, I had to be able to make the decision to allow myself to progress, and it sucked. I was tempted to just want to forgive him and deceive myself with comforting lies, but I knew that would be not allowing myself to progress forward in a legitimate and sustainable way. So back to the video. And I will let you know, for most of the day, the sun is at the anaretic degree of Sagittarius. So go slow, okay? Don't feel like you're in a rush where everything needs to get done. Go slow, remember to breathe. And then the sun enters Capricorn, kicking off season of the goats. And I just want to wish a very happy birthday to all of the wonderful Capricorns out there. Capricorn, I adore you for your ability to inspire me to continually level up. Thank you for your wry sense of humor. I never fail to giggle when I'm around a Capricorn. Thank you for your observational abilities. Thank you for your honest advice. Thank you for your compassion that comes through in such a grounded, stable way. I adore you. I hope you enjoy your season. I hope you enjoy your birthday. So the beginning of Capricorn season always corresponds with the solstice, winter solstice within the northern hemisphere and summer solstice within the southern hemisphere. And when we talk about solstice, it is a time of extremes, right? It's the longest night here in the north and the longest day in the south. And this is an energy of contrast, right? A distinct contrast between the nighttime hours and the daytime hours. And I want to let you know that sometimes contrast brings clarity. When you outline everything that is on your plate and all the things that you are responsible for, there can be this contrast around, this is what I really want, but my schedule doesn't reflect it. And that can bring clarity. Like, the data around what it is that you don't want is just as valuable around the data around what it is that you do want. So just observing how that energy of contrast is showing up within your universe, whether it's within your schedule, within your relationships, what have you. And from a northern hemisphere perspective, this is typically a time around drawing your energy inward, reflecting, evaluating, right? Like Capricorn season wisdom. It doesn't matter how fast you get to the top of the ladder if it's placed to the wrong wall. right? And sometimes that moment of reflection, rather than constantly hustling and grinding and building things just to realize when you get to the top of the mountaintop that that's not where you want it to go at all. Sometimes these times around coming inward to really reassess where happiness is, where our energy is going, where our resources are, can help us build forward more intelligently. So answering that call if that is stirring within you. And the good news is, finally, from this point onward, the days will get longer and longer and longer. Thank goodness. I cannot deal with the sun going down at like 4:30. Finally, thank goodness. And I feel like that's a message for someone out there, is just honoring that this too shall pass, right? And if you feel that your life has felt just shrouded in a lot of darkness, the energy of solstice reminds us that yes, there's this intense contrast. There might be a lot of darkness alive within your universe, but the energy of solstice reminds us that we're moving through this passage where from now on, it's going to get a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, and just trust in that power of renewal. And you know, the vibes are good on Thursday. I would just say be mindful around taking on too much or being too impulsive with that aforementioned sun at the anaretic degree. This is also heightened by the Aries moon trining the Sagittarius placement, since Mars a little after midnight, and the Sagittarius sun at 6:47 p.m., which again, we're moving forward with excitement and enthusiasm. Like, this is the fire trine. Fire is around what lights us up, what drives us, what pushes us forward. So there could be this spark that emerges around something that we're passionate about. You know, sometimes it could show up around something that we're angry about. Again, anger is a step up on the emotional vibrational scale. Sometimes it can be helpful to actually reach for anger if you're trying to climb to the more high vibrational emotions, right? Because at least there's energy, at least there's passion. You're moving forward. So sometimes it helps to just claim that kind of like sacred rage around, no, I'm frustrated by this, so that you can continue to move on and like tap into Mercury sextile Saturn. Now that you've had your little pity party, you puffed and puffed, being able to move forward in that more pragmatic, logical way. The moon enters its sign of exaltation at 6:50 p.m. So there's only a 3-minute void moon from 6:47 p.m. to 6:50 p.m. And with the moon in Taurus, things should settle down. Again, we have all this fire shifting to all of this earth. So it's interesting. It reflects very literally within the astrology around feeling our feelings, feeling this very immediate instinctive reaction, and then grounding down into, okay, pragmatically, how we're moving forward. With the energy of the Taurus moon, this is kind of sprinkled into the vibe check around wanting the hot chocolate and the delicious meal and the earmuffs and the leg warmers and just enjoying the pleasures of being human. This is part of the energy of Capricorn season as well. It's not all hustle and succeed and CEO and boss and what have you. It's also that energy around, to be so corny, I'm so sorry, but it is that energy around working hard and playing hard, around treating ourselves with high quality experiences, enjoying the pleasures of being a human being. Like, Capricorn is earthy, right? It's a very, very sensual energy. So there is this energy around wanting to enjoy the beauty around you, wanting to enjoy the fruits of your labor, around what it is that you've worked towards all 2023. Like, this is why, you know, companies have holiday parties, right? To reward you for all the hard work that you've put in. And I just want to say, for anyone else who is like self-employed, throw yourself a holiday party, okay? Throw yourself a holiday party. Take time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That is what makes the ascent to the peak of what it is that you want to accomplish sustainable, is taking those moments to enjoy the process, to celebrate yourself, to indulge yourself in the little luxuries of life. Just making sure I don't have mocha on my lips. That would be embarrassing. But then that evening, the Taurus moon trines Mercury in Capricorn and sextiles Saturn in Pisces. So again, it's a hardworking, productive, but enjoying the process sort of vibe, where it's like, yes, reaching goals, aligning to what it is that we want to accomplish, but also taking space and time to go slow, to have a bubble bath, eat a delicious meal, whatever it is, however you want to treat yourself. So on Friday, the 22nd, we have the Mercury Cazimi. So this is also known as Sun conjunct Mercury, and this is an inferior conjunction. So this marks the halfway point of your ongoing Mercury retrograde story. And like I said, this Mercury retrograde has two parts, okay? It has the Mercury in Capricorn part, in which you've already experienced last week and this week, and now a new chapter begins of the Mercury in Sagittarius portion of the retrograde, and they are quite different. So that's why I'm saying with this week's astrology, take advantage with this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn around reviewing your life, reviewing your resources, what's working, what's not working, what's leading you towards the path of success. And I just want to highlight success is not necessarily monetary. It's like what your vision of success is, right? That's what Mercury retrograde is in the first portion. And honestly, with this week's Mercury aspects, it's very helpful. It trines Jupiter, it's sextile Saturn, it's grounded, it's pragmatic, it's reviewing things from that more pragmatic mind state. The tone shifts with the next portion of the Mercury retrograde. That's what I want to say. Like, Mercury is going to re-enter its detriment. It conjoins Mars next week and squares Neptune next week. Like, it's a different animal. It is a different chapter. Okay, so enjoy Mercury retrograde this week. Yes, it's annoying. Plans change, but it's a lot less chaotic than the Mercury retrograde next week. We will, of course, talk about it. Meet you back in the Cosmic Corner next week to break that down. But what I want to say is that Mercury retrograde is this halfway point around just reviewing what has come up from this point in time. This can be light bulb moment, particularly around the territory of your chart where you have 0 degrees Capricorn. That can be a house or arena of life that you have this moment that you realize something. And that could be around your business, that could be around your family. There could just be important communications coming in at this time. And typically when it comes to Sun conjunct Mercury, it can be helpful to make an announcement, but I will say Mercury's retrograde, so there's no pressure to do that. What I would definitely say is, like I said with the day prior with that solstice energy, as you reflect, be open to ahas, be open to downloads, be open to contemplations around how it is that you want to move forward more intelligently and more true to your vision of success. And you know, this energy was somewhat weaved into the vibe check because, like I said, this is a great time for communications of all sorts, whether it's looping back to past people that you've done business with or past coworkers or your clients and your customers. There just could be an energy around nurturing those contacts, right? Like, as you continue to build, don't forget the people who helped you build up to this point, right? Honoring that. But I also wanted to integrate this in terms of in the vibe check, that mom who you had given the ice skating ticket to and how she told you like, gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate this so much, and how that made your heart swell. Again, you went through all these emotions to get to the ice skating rink. Am I going to look lame if I'm skating by myself? Does Becca hate me now? Like, you went through so much to get to that point, but just hearing that made it all so worth it, right? To know that you are doing good or that you're making a difference. So what I want to say is that if there is somebody within 2023 who has deeply like inspired you, or somebody that you want to reach out and say like, thank you, like you don't know how pivotal this was for my journey, or how this kept me going when I wanted to give up, or even just paying a well-deserved compliment. I always joke, I'm like, compliments count double if they come from Virgo or Capricorn, because I'm like, y'all have high standards. So whenever they comment on my videos, I'm like, me? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I always count them as double. But anyways, all I want to say is that call out excellence when you see it, because you never know when someone needs to hear it, and you never know the impact that you are making within other people's lives. And don't forget, within the peppermint mochas and the ice skating and the festivities of it all, this is a season that is about generosity. So remember to give back in whichever resources that you have available to you, right? Like Capricorn is about utilizing the resources that we have at our disposal. Maybe we don't have unlimited boatloads of money to be able to sponsor a bunch of families' gifts, but maybe you have a lot of time where you have that space to volunteer. Or maybe you don't have any time, you're totally strapped for time, but you want to do an act of kindness within the community. And I just want to say, with the energy of Mercury, it can also be giving back in terms of language, right? A well-deserved, compliment. I actually was randomly, this is so bizarre, before I was going to sleep last night, which my thoughts always go to some weird places when it's right before going to sleep. But last night before going to sleep, I was like, I wonder how @Lootable Corpse is doing. And if you're asking, Haley, who's Lootable Corpse? I have no idea. And I've told you all about my journey on YouTube and that it took a long time, right? It took a long time to even get 2 people to watch my videos. I mean, it took a while, right? But one of the people was Lootable Corpse. That was their username. And I don't know what that username means. I'll just never forget. I was like posting all these videos and just felt like I was screaming it into the void. I had literally thought, I was like, should I just give up? And then one day when I checked, Lootable Corpse was like, you should make more videos. Like, I love when you post. And I swear to you, I had like 11 subscribers. at this time. And this one comment gave me the motivation to keep going. I was like, you know what? Lootable Corpse is watching, so I'm gonna keep making videos for Lootable Corpse. So shout out to you, Lootable Corpse, if you watch, because you never know what people are moving through. Like, you never know how going out of your way and saying something nice or giving your coworker a card or doing a random act of kindness at the ice skating rink, you never know what a difference you are making. Like, literally, if it weren't for Lootable Corpse, I don't know if I would still be making YouTube videos. So you wouldn't even be watching this right now. So shout out to you, Lootable Corpse. I don't know if they still watch my channel or know what an impact that they had on me, but that just little nudge just gave me the courage to, with this Mercury caziming Capricorn, keep ascending, keep going. So also just noticing where it is that you are feeling called to share a message with someone that you admire. Also honor the messages that come through from others around this time. Like, if you've been trying to grow a YouTube channel and you get a comment on this day, take that as a nudge from the universe. Like, keep going. Like, sometimes the universe works through people to support us and keep our dreams and our visions alive. So observe, what are people telling you that you are really good at? What is the feedback that you are getting? What is the, content that's being commented on, or the songs that are really resonating with people, or the scripts that your collaborators really enjoy? Like, honoring that as data. It's Mercury retrograde. It's all about the data. Speaking of Mercury, also on Friday evening at 10:18 to be exact, Mercury re-enters Sagittarius. So like I said, there's two parts to this Mercury retrograde story. And what I want to say with Mercury and its detriment, it's important to go slow, okay? Don't just gloss over information. Don't run away from the details of the matter. We could be a little more blunt than we intended to be. That's going to be important with next week aligning with Mars. But the good news is, with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, you could be more apt to shift into that adventurous, spontaneous mindset around, you know what? I'll just go to the ice skating rink alone, right? I'll make the best out of the situation. That's why I love Sagittarius placements. Being with them is an adventure. Again, you could just stay inside and let those non-refundable ice skating tickets go to waste, or you can have an adventure. And with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, stay open to the adventure. And so on Friday, the vibes are good, okay? The moon conjoins Jupiter at 4:53 a.m. So in the morning time, you could wake up full of good feelings, and again, full of generosity. Really honor how you are feeling called to give back, whether that is, financially, your words, your time, whatever it is. Don't forget the reason for the season, okay? And also give to yourself, right? With Moon Jupiter, also pour into your own self-care. You are not a machine, right? You deserve to enjoy this experience of being human, whether that is treating yourself to a day in nature, like I said, a bubble bath, a peppermint mocha, whatever it is. It's very sensual, it's very slow vibe. And that cazimi that I was telling you about exacts at 10:54 a.m. So honor the messages that are coming through, whether it's from within or around you, in the form of comments, in the form of feedback, in the form of emails, whatever it is. Again, it can be helpful to share messages. So if you do want to share with your client base or something in nature, saying happy holidays, that can be helpful. But just stay open to the messages that you are sharing and that you're receiving. So on Saturday, December 23rd, important to stay open, okay, to deviations in the plan. I want to say that with the moon aligning with Uranus and then the moon opposing Venus. So essentially the Taurus moon is kind of kicking up that Venus opposite Uranus energy, which is now separating, but the Taurus moon kind of stirs it up. So again, there can be things that occur that are not according to the plan this weekend. And with Mercury now in Sagittarius, continue to anchor into, if not this, something better. Continue to trust, like if you want to take your kids to go do this and it didn't work out, being open to pivot. If you want to spend time with this friend and they're not able to, being able to pivot. If you wanted to buy this particular gift for someone near and dear, being able to pivot. And seeing and viewing things through the lens around, what if the universe had designed this? What if this was all meant to be? What if there was a divine purpose to Becca coming down with a stomach bug so that I could really make a difference within that mother's holiday season? What if she really, really needed that act of kindness on that day? day? And what if I really needed that fun night of ice skating and facing my fear around being alone? Like, it's hard when things don't go according to plan, but continue to rest in the knowledge, okay, if not this, something better. The universe must have something up its sleeve, and being open to find out. And with the Taurus moon opposing its ruler, you know, there's a slow vibe, there's a cozy vibe. You could be feeling a little lazy. With the Taurus moon opposing Venus, you could be eating a lot of sweets. You could kind of be indulging a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. And then the Taurus moon sextiles Neptune. So again, really lovely weekend to tap into the magic, however that shows up for you. Sprinkling some fairy dust into your weekend. If you're going to wrap presents, why not wrap presents while you're sipping cocoa and wearing, you know, Christmas pajamas or whatever it looks like to you. However it is that you want to sprinkle fairy dust. Maybe you are not celebrating the holidays. There could be an energy with the Taurus moon sextiling Neptune in Pisces around sprinkling fairy dust in your own way, going to a museum, going hiking, what have you, infusing your weekend with a little magic. And the Taurus moon trines Pluto in Capricorn that evening, a reminder of the resilience of your spirit, the resilience of your body. I'm just going to say this message. I don't know who needs to hear it. It's probably just one person out there, but I just want to say, please do not feel any guilt whatsoever if you find that you're eating more sweets or eating more rich foods or what have you. Like, with the energy of Taurus moon trine Pluto and Capricorn, honor that this is a season, okay? Naturally, this is kind of a season that we tend to eat more, we tend to be indulging more, okay? And just be within it. Do not poison these sweet moments with this energy of guilt and like, I shouldn't have done that. With the Taurus moon trining Pluto and Capricorn, it's a reminder that your body is resilient, right? And oftentimes when we're eating something and also feeling those energies around guilt or like I shouldn't, we're also eating those feelings of guilt and I shouldn't do this. So if you're going to indulge, be there fully. Your body will recover if you ate too many cookies, okay? It's like, do not allow guilt or, oh, I shouldn't have done that, poison these sweet moments if you're having them. Then after the Taurus moon trines Pluto in Capricorn around 10:40 p.m., the moon is void. On Sunday, December 24th, the moon enters Gemini, a little after midnight, 12:15 to be exact. It is unfortunately greeted by a square to Saturn, so there could be energy around a lot to get done. Your mind could feel scattered, but there is this communicative, playful vibe over Sunday around wanting to connect. If you did have a last minute gift that you forgot about, don't forget, Mercury Retrograde makes us more absent-minded, okay? That's why I recommend writing things down. But if you did forget a gift, luckily we have the Sun in Capricorn sextiling Saturn in Pisces, which is very productive. It's very efficient. We're in the mood to get things done, to tackle those last minute items or whatever is on your awareness, and to handle it in a very practical way. So my loves, that is our week. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is, if not this, something better. Like I said, this is an important week to stay open to deviations of the plan, because even if things aren't unfolding in accordance to our plan, it's always unfolding in accordance to God's plan or the divine's plan. And sometimes we don't see the other pieces to the puzzle, right? Like, you didn't know when Becca flaked on your plans that there would be somebody who so appreciated and maybe even needed that spare ticket that you had. You made her holiday season. She will not forget that act of kindness. Like, you don't see all that. And so when we just huff and puff and throw a pity party, which again, you can have it, but just make sure to move forward. If we stay within that energy around it's not going according to plan, we are denying ourselves that beautiful evening of how it unfolded, as well as the gift of being able to help someone out. And it's frustrating to see within the moment, because sometimes with Venus opposite Uranus, it's like, I so wanted to go to this concert with this person. I so wanted to go ice skating with Becca. I so wanted this to work out in this particular way, but you just have to trust, as frustrating as it is, you have to trust, if not this, something better. So if you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and let me know by commenting the ice skate emojis below, or use the word skate within a sentence to let me know that you watched until the end. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would so love to connect with you over there. Don't forget that the 12 Days of Cosmos videos will be fully done this this Wednesday, we'll have every single sign there within the playlist. Taurus goes live Monday and Aries goes live Wednesday. Make sure to check out your rising sign as well as your sun sign to get the lowdown on your 2024. And I want to thank Ana Luisa again for sponsoring this week's Magic Monday. Deeply recommend taking advantage of the 35% off sale while it is live. Shipping is fast and free anywhere in the US, and they do have international shipping options for you to check out. So you can do all of that within the link within the description as well as the pinned comment. But until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.